Hey guys, it is Nick with Program Practical. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I know I am. So jumping into this new series, I've been I've been debating a lot on how to actually bring into this series. Oops, sorry if that was loud. I hit my mic. And I'm making a little shift. So I am starting a new job on Monday. Actually, by the time this airs, I should probably be in the new job. And it's for a new startup in town. Well, they've been around for a year, so you can debate what's new. But there's a technology shift. So I'm still going to be a Ruby on Rails developer. We use Ruby on Rails for our backend, but we use it solely as an API. And everything else is done through front-end apps. Our web apps are done in React, and then we have iOS and Android apps, which of course just do their thing. So one of the things I knew I needed to get spun up on, I've never used React, so I needed to start using React. And that's been really fun. I have enjoyed it way more than Angular. Now, to be fair, Angular I use at work is Angular 1. I've used Angular 2 before, and I do enjoy it better than Angular 1. But we weren't going to be getting out of that anytime soon. So, to stop my rambling. We're building a little project in React. So I have a tiny bit of history with React. I'm sure you love to see all of my bookmarked and frequently visited things. Of course, this is on Heroku, so it takes a minute. So this is the first React app I built. It is a little forecaster for them. It was a part of the technical interview. They wanted me to build a forecasting tool that took metrics they gave me, took the weather, used their APIs for locations, and built out a forecast on like what we're expecting the weather to be like, and what were they expecting the demands on their kitchen to be like. So this was my first React app I built, other than the tic-tac-toe example they have on their website. And they were really impressed, and I nailed the job. And I've got to say, I'm ecstatic to have this job because they are on a very high caliber compared to the other places I've interviewed with. Frankly, a little scared because of their high caliber. So I signed up for Udacity's nano degree program. They actually... The month I accepted the job, like a few days later, Udacity announced they had a React nano degree, and I'm like, oh, perfect. Like, that's exactly so. I looked at it, and so I'm at the final project in the first module, I think is what they call them. And the goal is to build out this MyReads app here, and this is all just static. We have to make this work. So you have like your books in your bookshelves, and you can like change what bookshelves they're in. Obviously, this isn't going anywhere because it's not going anywhere. They have a little search button that takes you to this field, and you have to like build this out. We're using React Router, and stuff like that. So I have the app started over here. Close all of this. And very basic. I mean, as of right now, we just have this stuff. So I'm gonna try and go over React. It's not gonna be a very detailed review. Again, they have an awesome tic-tac-toe tutorial. I'm just gonna kind of go into what I'm doing, how we're solving this problem, and some stuff like that. You may see me look at some other code that we did during the course, just to remember some semantics of things. But yeah, so let's jump in here. So the first thing we need to do in this is right now there's no router, and that's one of the big things we're using is React Router, so we can properly route between the search page and the bookshelf page easily. So we want to add that. So let's go into here, and inside of our terminal, we're going to say npm install, and then we're going to do 2 hyphens with a save, and this is going to save this package inside of our package.json. So we're going to make sure we have that, and we're going to do React router, and DOM. And this is important because they do have a React router native. So we want to specify DOM since this is a web package. So we're going to do that and give that a quick little fire, and we'll see that our JSON package does in fact get the React route right there. And then we just need to restart our node server after that just to make sure we're getting it with React router. And there we go. Alright, so real quick, we'll implement React router. And the first thing you want to do is there's this thing called browser route, and we'll want to put that in here. So we're going to come in, doesn't really matter where you put it, but we'll put it here. Import browser route from React route DOM. We'll save that, and let me just grab this real quick. And we're going to do a browser route, close that, and drop this one in. Alright, we'll save that and make sure it compiles okay. Missing module, React route DOM. Whoop. Alright, well, let's check real quick. Packages. Oh, I always do that. I'm new to this. It's React router DOM. Come on, Nick. There you go. I've done that too many times. And then, yeah, Books API is defined, but we never use it. So that's one thing. We're going to be using an API for this, and they did provide the API. They have their own little thing, because this is all just a front-end course. So we'll have that error until we actually start playing with it. So we have our browser route inside of here, and that seems to be doing okay. Let's see. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna just leave that. Alright. And then up here we're going to import a new route, I believe, from React router DOM, like so. Alright, now we have to figure out where we're splitting this. Actually, it looks like they already... Okay, so there's the search page right there. Okay, so they're using just a bad state search to break it up, but that's fine. We can piggyback off this. If I remember how to do a route, let's see. I'm just gonna come in above it real quick. Route path equals search. Is it a render? Let's see. Do I need a render? That's actually a good question. I think so, because we're gonna have this history thing right here. Render history. I'll explain that once I verify I'm actually typing in the right thing. Come on. Is that it? No. Okay. I'm gonna have to double check some other code real quick, guys. Let's see. I just want to verify this real quick just to make sure we're not. This is a learning curve for me as well. So we have. So we're in app right now, doing the routes. We're doing one specifically that's history. So you do a render, and then that's in a render tag, of course, because that's where it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I should know this. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this. So we type it in for that repetitiveness, right? So we're going to equal, and then we do code tags. We want this to be rendered, or we want it to be processed. I guess I should say, and then that's going to have a function like this. Oop, I didn't mean to type that. It's going to have a function like this with its own little code base, but it's weird. So it does this function, but you are supposed to use a parenthesis, not parenthesis. You're not supposed to use curly brackets. And I just deleted that. Yes, that works. Okay. So we're gonna add one more thing though, and that's history, and that's for browser history. And I'll show you a quick example over here with our search app. So essentially it allows history to be passed in. Here we go, right here. So right here we're passing history in, and then that is able to do stuff like we have this on create. So once you create a contact, it routes you back. We have it put history push this, and that takes us back to the route wise to get us back to here. It also enables the ability to go back and forth with the buttons and yada yada yada. So we're passing history in because we have a button we want a wire to send us back when clicked. Actually, I think we use a link for that, but we will want it because once we add a book, we'll want it to route us back to the bookshelf. So we're just putting in the history now, knowing that we need it, even if it's not necessarily used from the get-go. So I'm gonna pop this down a couple, and then we'll grab all of this right here, cut it, paste it, make sure it's aligned properly. It is. All right. There. And now it's not show search page, this state, which we do have set to true. I'm going to get rid of that value because we don't need it anymore. Okay. Now we're going to do the other route, and I'm going to actually do this route above it, just because I don't like that the root route is actually coming after it. Now, given there's a lot of code here, and this needs to be broken up. Like, we're going to make components out of this and like slowly break away this app into multiple sections, because what we have right now is not good. You do not need this much handwritten code. Each of these books are repetitive, which means each of these books can be a component. So we'll get to that. Right now we're just working on base setup. So we're going to do another route, and this time we're actually going to type in exact path. And the reason why is if you do this search, right, this technically is matched. This path is matched because they are the it's if you think of it, if you've ever used regular expressions, right, it's just like, does this match? And it's like, well, technically, yeah, it matches. I mean, this still has that. So we say exact, meaning, after it there should be nothing, before it there should be nothing. This is the path exactly, and this is what we're going to render. So and then in this one we're not going to pass in anything, so we're just going to do this like that. And then we also want to make sure we do a end route, and we'll want to do that down here too because I forgot. So end route like that. Alright, and we got to copy all this code. So come down here, grab all of the come on now. All of this code right here. Got that. Paste. Make sure it looks good. It does. It's a ridiculous amount of code, but it looks good. All right, and we'll get rid of this little statement here. It's important that in JSX, which is what we're using to render all of this, and maybe I should actually address that, you have one root element. So we do have that with app. So if you're extremely new to React and you have no idea what I'm doing right now, first off, I'm sorry, this video probably isn't for you. And that's just because I haven't sat down to really think about an intro video, right? Like, you know, getting into it. But pretty much React, the thing I like about React that I like over the other front-end frameworks is JSX, which is a JavaScript extension that allows you to essentially write HTML just in your JavaScript like this without doing anything weird with having like to put quotes on each one plus to get it on different lines. And you know, with that, your IDE can still have text text highlighting. And I don't know. It's beautiful and easy, and I love it. So I don't know. All right, so that should have rendered. Should have. I'll say very carefully. So we're still getting some kind of an error here. So let me check one more thing real quick. So we have route from React Router DOM. I'm gonna open up one more file here. Hang on. Mainly make sure that root browser was actually right. So we're gonna go to index. See, here's router. I wish it would yell at you, and say like, "Hey, that's not right." Oh well. I'm sure you guys were yelling at me. All right, there we go. So see, now we have this bad boy, and if I click on this, nothing happens now. But so this automatically comes up instead of that search page which we were getting before. Now this comes up, and I can do a search, which will take me to a broken page. Look at that. That's fascinating. Okay, so that's an interesting thing. Let's double check this. Let me kind of minimize. They're both on the same level. Oh. I hit an E. There you go. See, so that's what I was talking about. How if you don't have exact here, if you don't have exact when you come to this search page, it's going to render both elements because it's technically being matched. Whoop. Oh goodness. There we go. Where if you have exact in there, then it will ignore it. None of these buttons are working right now because of the router change. Okay, so we'll wrap this episode up. I think we've been going for a little bit. You're not gonna give me my time. All right. We're going to wrap this up, though, and what we're going to do is we're just going to add in our links so we can see. This video is all just going to be essentially setting up React Router. So let's do that real quick. So we want to add in what's called a link. And again, like, if you do know React and you're yelling at me right now because I need a make these into components, we will get to that, I promise. I'm just adding in the basics now, and then we're going to, like, this whole thing is going to be a component. You know, it's going to be in its own little thing. So bear with me and try not to strangle me, and we'll get there. So we want to add in a link right here. So a link is another thing from React Route. So we're just going to type in link. All right. And then it's just like an A tag, except for you add in some other stuff. So let me see where we're actually. So we're looking for this closed search right now. All right. So for link, we're going to come in here, and I'm going to say link instead of this. Link. And then we're going to say, instead of this, because we're not even doing that state change anymore, we're going to say to that. I'm going to try that. I have not, so I haven't done the course stuff in about a week. I did it all last weekend, and then I was like, this is my last week at my last job, so I need to like give them 100%. So I am going off memory right now, especially because I couldn't find any so I use Dash for my documents, and I got some good stuff for React, but I have no documents for React routes. It's not available. So we're gonna try this, and look at that. So that still doesn't work. So let me double check one more thing too, and I can show you the way we were using links in here with create contact. So yeah, there's a class name, and then there's a to. There was a specialty one though. Let's go to, oh, that's the APIs. List contacts. Did this have a link? It did. So let's find the other links. It was just the to. Okay, they had some other property. I guess we're not using it though. I mean, why would we need to? So we need to find this little plus button and send that to the search. So where are you, little plus button? Right here. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna use some of the Visual Studio's magic here and edit both at once. No. There we go. All this to do nothing. All right, there we go. Link. I've been trying to learn more of the features of this software I use on a daily basis. Here, and we're just gonna say, did this have a? No, the class is right above it. So we're just gonna say to search should be fine, like that. We'll jump back over here now, and we should have, takes us to the search, takes us away, and then our browser buttons actually work. I can go back, I can go forward. As you see, we're actually getting a search, and then we're getting the root. So things work the way your end users are used to, even though it's a single page application, thanks to React Route. And there's three main components. So to get everything wired up, you'd use this browser route. You wrap your main app component in that. That's all you got to do there. After that, you just got to start defining your routes. So in your main page, we'll close some of this. You define your routes. So you say, for the main route, these are the components I want to use, which right now we just have the one. And then my search route, this is this way. If it's something that could intersect, you might want to use this exact flag to make sure that it's working the way you intend it to. Without that, though, you can actually do some cool things for like a dashboard. Just an idea. I don't know. I'm sure there are some cool things with it. You have this ability to pass history, which we haven't gotten to. We'll get to eventually. And then the last big thing of React Router is the link, which is the thing that allows you to actually use the router. And it's super simple. You pass it the class name like you normally would. And this is essentially just an A tag. But you add this to, and that allows you to actually tell it where you want the app to go to. And that updates browser history the way it's supposed to. You get all that stateful awesomeness. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. Again, I'm Nick with Program Practical. This is just a overview series of building a MyReads clone, which is all pretty much statically built. We're just building out the React code. Today we went over React Router in a very bleh overview, and I'm sorry for the brain dump, but yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm again Nick. I'll catch you guys next time.